Welcome to Strategy and Tea, episode 11. Today we are visiting Turkey. Our guest is Ayesha. She is a sales coach and she helps service providers to stand out in their industry without feeling sleazy when selling. We are going to speak about how sales skills can help you as an online course creator. But before we jump in, I would like to invite you to join my free community, the Online Course Creator Circle, a place where you can get strategy, feedback, and accountability. And now, let's start. Now, welcome, Aisha. Thank you for accepting my
Hi,
invitation and for
hello.
being here.
No worries, no worries. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, let's start. Please tell us about your story and how you got involved in sales coaching.
That's such a lovely question. There were like so many things that I'm into, and I was obsessed with psychology of things, and especially with showing up confidently and confidence, communication, and sales skills. Like all of these things were always part of everything that I did. But when I started doing like more sales and stuff, I realized that sales gets even more difficult for when it comes to for women because it's difficult for us to pitch ourselves, put ourselves out there, and sell with confidence. And later on, I came across the study which said something like sales, like 80-90% of the sales is confidence, and it's the communication skills. And I was like, that is so interesting. And that's how I got into what I'm doing. And the more I do work around this, I realize that it is such a powerful thing to be able to sell with ease, sell with charisma, sell with confidence that you don't have to be sleazy. You don't have to like push people or handle objections endlessly. And that's the kind of sales that I teach as well. It's based on psychology, it's based on charisma and communication principles and different modalities and psychologies and things like that. So that's how I got into what I'm doing.
That's amazing. So, I would like to know what do you think is the most common myth in your industry?
One thing that one of the biggest myth is you have to get a yes on the call. Like, no matter who that person is, you have to get a yes on that call. And no matter how difficult things are getting for you, you have to push the sale and get this other person and be sleazy and give them all these discounts and make empty promises. Or you have to be a certain, like, reach a certain level, and only then sales get to be easy. When in reality, the more specific you get with who to help and how to help, and using different communication modalities that speak to different buyers and that speak to different people, it becomes like this whole sales thing becomes really effortless, and you can start enjoying sales as much as you enjoy running your business. So that's the common myth that I have come across.
I like that you bring the empty promise to the table because this is a big thing. So if you are confident about your offer and you know what you are promising is real and the outcome will be there, you will not feel that sleazy or anything
Mm,
because you are confident about what you are offering. Don't you
mm,
think?
mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I strongly believe in that as well. And I feel like when it comes to confidence, it comes in three layers. The first one is confidence in yourself. Do I really have the capability to be able to sell with ease? Right? Or the next thing is confidence in your offer. Is this something that actually can provide transformation? And the third is confidence in your transformation. Is the transformation something, is it something that is completely impossible? So are you like promising moon and stars to people, or are you actually have seen that transformation happen, right? That essentially makes such a big difference when you solidify three of these areas. So confidence in yourself, confidence in your offer, and then the confidence in the transformation. So have you like beta test the offer? Have you tested on yourself? Have you tested it on like the people around you, like with other clients, past clients, and things like that? So if you're pretty solid in all these three areas, I don't see why it should be difficult for you to.
Hmm. Yeah. So in our audience are mostly online course creators. So in your opinion, how can sales skills can help an online course creator?
That's such a good question because I have worked with course creators and with coaches as well, and like premium done for your service providers. And I've realized this thing about course creator is that there's so much work that goes into creating the course. There's so much work that goes into the research, the the Can you hear me? I think there was a
Now, yeah, was a bit of lacking. Now I can hear you.
okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. No worries. So this is how I try to like look at it. When you're putting in so much effort into that goes around into doing all that things, but then when it comes to selling, you're like, I'm not really sure. How do I do it? And like you're not being specific, you're not being strategic, you're not really identifying what is it that really helps people make that decision. Because I think buyer psychology is such an important thing for you to understand. Moving from how do I sell to what actually will help my buyers make that decision. When you start reverse engineering it in that manner, it becomes super easy for you to understand what is it that really moves them to be making that decision, right? And for course creators specifically, I would say it's like a business, right? Your courses are your products. So this is like an analogy that has helped quite a lot of my clients. Wherein I'm like, imagine if I had a dessert shop, right? So I have this beautiful cafe, and like I make these beautiful desserts, and they smell amazing, they taste amazing, and like if people in my family they love them and all of that. So I open up the shop, I prepare the products there, and then I just close the shop and I go home and I wait for people to come to my home, knock on my door, and ask me about it, or magically someone should know about my delicious desserts and like come and buy automatically, right? So it doesn't work like that. Things doesn't work like that. So if you know you have an amazing product, it is your responsibility to show up. It's my responsibility to open the shop up, switch on some lights, put some good music, be excited, like engage with people, get in touch with local community, and actually reach out to people and build those connections with people, and actually be excited to be selling people, be informing people about my products, and like getting excited about what's to come. And like it is all of these are my job. It is my job to put my product in front of the right people so that they make that decision, right? So selling is actively your job. And just we get to the creation, we create the course, we create the whole product, we do all of these research. But when it comes to selling, we are like passively creating one poster and then we place it in 10 different places, right? And we expect it to come that way, right? It doesn't work like that. People should build that likability towards you, people should build that attachment towards you, they should get excited. They will get as excited about it just as much as you are excited, right? Because they don't know what's at the other line. If you're a course creator who has created a course on time management, right? So currently someone who's struggling with time management, it's really difficult for them to interpret the result, for them to be like, okay, fine, this is how my life will look like once I apply, or once I've bought this course. It's your job to convey that transformation, to communicate your offers in a manner that makes them feel like, yes, it's possible for me. Yes, this is something I can be doing, right? So I think it's super important for you to actively invest and actively practice these skills to see how all of that reflects. And another one of the biggest myths that I have seen is we think sales is the last stage of the process. So we think that there is first offer creation, you create the offer, you do the marketing, you do the foundation work, and then sales is the last element. When in reality, sales starts right from the ideation, right from the time you think about the course idea. That's when sales is happening. What is it something in demand? Is it sellable? Right? Is it something that people will really benefit from? People actually pay money for this. Is it like an itch that people are having, or is it like a deep cut? Someone is looking for a solution. So sales essentially happens from like the foundations of when you decide for a business. So like I feel that's one area that people should really start focusing on.
Yeah, I like that you bring this because this is so related with the validation process. When you are creating the idea of your course and
Mm,
thinking about the structure, the first thing that you should do is
mm,
validate your idea. And for that, you need to really know your audience and really know
mm,
the people that you are going to offer your course and your or your services. This is really connected with, if you know, then you will
mm,
know, like in your example of the shop, you will know which kind of music they will prefer, or how they will prefer, if they will prefer to eat
mm,
there or bring into the home or wherever. So knowing them, like really really building that real connections and real relationships with your audience will help you to all the process, including the self. Also, it will attract the people that is aligned with
mm,
you and your values, and this strongly important for me because I believe that we should embrace our uniqueness and show ourselves and our voices to attract the right people, because this is, we want to
mm.
help them,
Love that. Mm,
and they will like to connect with us as well. Cool. So let's say for a beginner
mm,
course creator, where should they start?
mm. Mm. I love that question, but I'm going to address something which you said, which was like super important, was the fact that you said that we need to start like really understanding our ideal clients and aligning our values with them. Like, as I give you the example of that. So, what is it that excites her, right? The reason why the market feels so saturated right now is because we're not standing out. We're not embracing our authentic self, right? If I'm someone who's fun and energetic and like I love adventure, I love making things, making sales fun, and if I'm all about like running a business from a place of sustainability and with A's and all of that, I want to work with women who believe that. I want to work with women who are opinionated, women who are strong, and women who love self-expression, women who want to make those big impacts in their world, right? So the more I start honing in on what makes me unique, what is my unique selling point, what is my USP, the more I start attracting right kind of people, right? And that comes with understanding and validating your offer and understanding your ideal clients. So the foundational work is super important. So if someone is just getting started, I would say this foundational work again is super important. Understanding what is your unique selling point, right? There can be like 10 different time management coaches. There can be 10 different business coaches. Why should someone hire you over all of them? What is it about you that makes them, that should make them go like, I want her to solve my problem? And that comes with you really digging deep into your unique selling point, positioning yourself as an leader, and then like communicating that through your content and selling in a soulful manner. So not selling with sleazy techniques or like cold messaging people or pushing people to buy or making empty promises that you're not sure about yourself. It comes from a place of authenticity, from a place of ease, wherein like the whole sleaziness goes out of the picture the moment you see that sales is so powerful when you're selling to the right person. If I'm like a working mom who has absolutely no time in her day, and during the day she's thinking about is, I have to get home, I have to cook, I have to get my kids sorted for this upcoming event, and I have like so many deadlines at work. And to someone like that, if you're selling your services, imagine how powerful that will be. She will love you for selling her services, right? It's not going to be like, I'm not really sure, this is my program. If this is something you'll be interested in, think about it. Like how, if she's working with you on her time, on her, how she manages her time, you're essentially changing her life. She's not going to be frustrated. She's not going to be uh, looking for solutions elsewhere. She's not going to be not meeting deadlines. She's not going to be frustrated. She's not going to be projecting all of that. And she's going to be with operating with this age and all that. So imagine that's such a highest form of service that you're doing, right? So seeing sales as a service initially, like early on, right, when you're doing all of those things. And once you've done and certified your market research, the next thing is learning how do I communicate my offers so it's attracting the right people. Because we don't want to be attracting victim mindset people. There's this very good example that I read, and I was like, I always include it in my talks, is because we don't want to be attracting people who are happy being, like, suppose if I'm a fitness coach, I don't want to work with women who are happy being fat. They are happy binging and like having chips all day, and they like that lifestyle, right? You don't want to be attracting victims. You want to be attracting women who are actively looking for solution, right? If like if I'm a fitness coach, my ideal client would be someone like who's trying different things, who's looking for a solution, who's trying different things and seeing what works for her, and like she's motivated, she's driven, she's looking for a solution. I'm not trying to sell and convince anyone to come and buy from me if they are not interested, right? If she's happy with her overweight, if she's happy with her unhealthy lifestyle, and she just wants to complain that she's getting fat but not do anything about it, you don't want them. Even if they do sign up with you, they are going to be so hard because they won't get any results. They'll be really hard for you to work through. It's going to feel like you're dragging them on your back all the time, and that's not the kind of work that you want to be doing, right? So that's what I would that I feel like someone who's just getting started, these are the areas, and working on your confidence, working on solidifying your foundations is like super important.
And I love the this importance of learning how to communicate. I guess as all several other things is like it's a skill that you can practice and you can improve over the time. It's not that from the beginning will be perfect, but you can improve over
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm, yes,
So
definitely. That goes for all things, whether it's communication, whether that's confidence, whether that's sales skills. At first, it's going to feel that icky, and like how I work is I start with self-expression. I start with
mhm,
helping women feel that empowerment, helping women step up as leaders firstly in their mind. So there's no like once I hit this trigger, then I'm going to be confident. Once I become this, then I'm going to feel worthy. Once I reach this goal, and then I'm going to feel this way. It's about you becoming that person now. You have to believe that my course is going to be transformational. You have to believe that now to be able to sell with that magnetic confidence. Right. And I feel like so many times, especially women, we like to do all the hard work, but we are we're so not good at owning our stuff. We're so not good at like really selling ourselves, like really standing out and saying that, you know what, this is something I created, it's bomb, and I would love for you to try it. And not the same with men. Like the way men sell and the way women sell is like totally a different thing. So that's what I believe in strongly.
mm. Um, in your experience, what is the biggest struggle that your clients have to address?
Biggest struggle, my clients, what? I didn't get the last
Yeah,
part.
yeah. So the biggest struggle that your clients have to address, like the bigger problem that they find when they are starting and when they are working with you.
Mm. Mhm. So I think, as I already said, there are all the foundational work. You will do all the market research, you will create the offer, you'll do everything. But when it actually comes to selling your offer with confidence, like owning the transformation, owning your skills, like letting go of that important role, that is like the biggest thing. And once they do that, then sky's the limit, right? And it's so much it's not that when I talk about standing out or anything like that, it's not like you're not standing out currently, right? There might be parts about yourself that you're not comfortable sharing. You're like, oh, what if people don't like me, what if I don't get accepted, and you hide yourself, right? And that is something that will really make you blend into the background. So things that you were told you're too much for, or you know what, you shouldn't do this, or you know what, why did you do this way? It wasn't. Start doing more of those things because that's what makes you unique, right? Like understand how to and learn how does my ideal client have that as well, and start embodying it in that manner, right? And another thing is like really going on stories is like a struggle for them, or powerfully doing master classes or selling on calls without feeling sleazy. These are like common struggles. Or even sometimes when they're saying the price, they don't believe that they can charge that much, right? So there's a lot of like money blocks and mindset issues and things like that. So once we work through all of those struggles like imposter syndrome, self-expression, confidence, selling with confidence, and all of that, then things become really easy because they are embodying that. They are stepping up as that leader. They are like, yes, I am the go-to person in this. Once you believe, once you have that in your head and you believe that, you can hold it in your hand, right? You can have that success.
Yeah, and this impostor syndrome is a big one when it comes to course creators because they know they probably are expert and they know a lot about their topics, but still they feel like, oh, maybe this is not good enough or what I who I am. I have to do this and all that. So this is a big one.
Yeah.
Maybe the offer is ready, the course is ready, and then when
Mhm.
it comes to actually selling, they have this back again. Related to prices as well. So they feel that if they undercharge, will be easier for them to sell. Um, so there are a lot
Yes.
of these related
Yeah.
to this topic of the imposter syndrome. We could go
Yeah.
and go.
Mhm.
Cool.
Exactly. I've seen all of that.
Yeah. So I would ask, I would like to ask you, what is your number one recommendation for your customers?
One of the biggest recommendations, or like one of the biggest strategies that has worked really well, is firstly urgency. So if you're selling something and you have communicated, so they know they have a problem, they know that there is a solution, they know that you have the solution, right? So giving them reason why they should act now, right?
Hmm.
Why is it that now is the best time for them to invest, right? So urgency, creating urgency really is important, whether it is your course or whether it is like one-on-one spots or things like that. Creating that urgency as to why is it important, and secondly is consequence. So this is where we really go missing. As if suppose like I have maybe I'm selling like I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe I'm selling something that really helps people life, or maybe I'm selling them something like something like a device that will help them sleep better, right? Or
Hmm.
maybe like an essential oil that will help them sleep better or something like that, right? So I'm just going on and on about it. Oh my God, this is such an amazing essential oil. It has this chemical. It has this, and we go on and on about the features of of the product. And we are going on about why the product is good, and we forget the fact that people don't care why the product is good. They care about how can that benefit them, how can that benefit them. So it's going to be something like, oh my God, this product is really going to make sleep to bed. You're going to love, you're going to have such good sleep. The quality of your sleep is going to improve. You're going to relax and de-stress because of how amazing the essential oil is. It has this, so you can do this. It has this, so you can do this. Bringing it back on them, right? And then giving them consequences of what happens if they don't have this. So if you don't have my product, so what happens? Giving them
Hmm.
like consequences of taking action now, and urgency, creating the right kind of urgency, and all of that has to happen through like a proper strategy. So these are like bits and pieces. The reason I don't give out strategy is because people go ahead and apply that one thing and don't see the change, and they're like, ah, that person was trash, or their advice wasn't good enough. And the thing is, you have to see how that plays out. There are like 10 steps before that strategy and 10 steps after that strategy. If you just pick one strategy or something you read off Google, or something you heard someone say once and you're like, let me just go and apply that, it's going to be like a band-aid. It's not going to cure the problem. So this is about really working through the ideal client. I can help them solve these things. So seeing things in that way really helps and helps you see results also, right? So I don't want you to pick strategies from here and there and go ahead and apply it and like try to like stitching. It's like stitching good freebies or free advices and trying to see like the whole thing turn out well, right? It doesn't work out like that. You have to step out of that and be like, certain things will require for me to invest, because start treating your business as a separate entity. If you are like, I need like a proper strategist to help me create that course, then Remy is a good person, right? She can help you strategize the whole thing and help you create that course, right? And if you're like, I want to like, now this is done, now this I want to have like a launch sequence or like a whole launch thing for this, then like if you're like, I want to do this, and you got to like go out and look for experts in those fields and experts in those industry, and really trust that, rather than like seeing what's working for others. Let me try that. I saw that one strategy here. Let me try that. Right. So that's the
Mm,
reason. Like I hold. I don't give away free strategies, because I don't know how far it will be efficient. So something which can be generally
mm.
applied as urgency. And another thing would be like speaking about the benefits rather than just the features.
Yeah, I love that this because yeah, especially when selling online courses, people are tempted to go and just tell about how many models they have or how many videos or hours of lessons, and it's like, okay, this is important, but it's more important to go first about the benefits of and the outcome that the people will have taking your course, and then later if they are interested in taking your course, maybe they want to know the specific features, but first the yeah, the benefits and the consequences for them. Oops. Okay, a moment. Okay, okay, we're back. So
Hi. I
hi.
think there was some connection issue.
Yes, some technical
Hi.
issue. Don't worry. It's always happens something like that. Don't worry. Okay. So now, before we finish, I would like to ask you a question that I like to ask to all my guests. Is what is a compliment from a client that has touched you the most? Oops, I cannot hear you. Sorry. Okay, one sec. Okay, now. Hmm, cannot hear you now. Can you hear me? Hmm. I cannot hear you. Okay, let me try one thing. Okay, now? Hmm. Maybe you can try to go and come back again. Okay,
Hi.
now? Now, yes,
Can you hear me
perfect.
now?
Yeah, perfect. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you again the question. So, what is the compliment from a client that has touched you the most?
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So one of the biggest thing that happened recently was that one of my clients, she messaged me and she was like, you know what, Aisha, I am getting booked out with such an ace that I don't have to like do like outreach, or I don't have to like reach out to people or book in discovery calls and things like that, because every time I'm sharing my work, I'm getting someone who reaches out and they're like they want to work with me. And she was like, if this is how it's going to continue, then I don't see that. Like I think she secured her investment with me for such a quite long time, and that really made me feel like that was so amazing. And another one, she said that after working with me for a few weeks, she has essentially like moved towards her goal 2 years. She was like, in just working with you for a few weeks, I think it would have taken me 2 more years to get there, but by working with you, I fast tracked those 2 years. So
Wow.
alhamdulillah, like that was something that really made me happy.
That's nice. Yeah, and helping them to go fast to the goal that they want to achieve. Just amazing. So, please tell the audience how they can connect with you and learn more about you.
Uh, so they like you can. I think you will have links set out. So you
Yes.
can on
Yes.
Instagram you can reach me at aishakhan.co, and like I have an offer that's open currently that'll help you out in your niche and like decode your USP and sell out with Ace. So do like check that out. And I'm on Facebook with that exact same name. And yeah, feel free to reach out, send me DM, and I do like a lot of like trainings and stuff, and I incorporate all of these questions that I get and I answer them in my trainings. Because for me, it's more about the impact rather than just like, growing in my business. So like all of that becomes an impact.
Amazing. Sorry. Thank you very much for sharing your tips and your insight and for being here today.
Mhm. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was such a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you. And before we go, just a reminder to our audience, if you are a new or aspiring online course creator, remember that I'm hosting feedback hot seat sessions where you can ask about your case and ask for opinion and sharing your ideas in my free community. Join us at rememancera.com/community. And that's it for today. Just a reminder to take action, to take the tips that Ayesha give us. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.